Welcome, everyone, to the Innate Wellbeing podcast. This is your host, Robert. And what is innate well-being? What's the purpose of this podcast? Where does this idea come from? I don't know. But what I know is that my journey through finding what I like to call innate well-being is something that's been truly life transforming. I've traveled different places. I went to Peru to do ayahuasca. I went to India and lived in an ashram called Isha Yoga Center and did various things: therapists, coaches, self-development, psychedelics, all sorts of different avenues in trying to find how the hell do I become happy? How do I find a sense of well-being? And where do I find it? And what I've come to find is that well-being is innate. Well-being is inside. Well-being does not come from outside. Well-being does not come from me going to India. Well-being does not come from me going to Peru. Well-being does not come from my relationship. Well-being does not come from my family. It doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from anything external, anything outside of yourself. What's inside? Have you ever looked inside? Have you ever looked to see what is inside of myself? What is there? And is it true? Is there a sense of well-being that's waiting for me? It's waiting for me to discover it. It's waiting for me to not only discover it, but embody it, just be it. I've been on this hunt for well-being. How do I become happy? How do I become successful? How do I do this and that? And this is the effort of this podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help you, the viewer, to see that your well-being is inside of yourself. Your well-being is already there. The only thing standing between you and your well-being is your thoughts that there is something outside of yourself that can give you a sense of well-being. And rather, not even that specific thought, but the fact that you're thinking, the very thoughts themselves, the fact that you have thought. You are one thought away from well-being. That's a beautiful quote that I love by a man named Sydney Banks. And this is what this is inspired from. This is inspired from an understanding called the three principles. Your well-being and whatever success you want, material success, emotional success, mental success, physical success, everything that you're looking for, if you fix one thing inside of you, if you get this one thing right inside of you, if you see that your experience is generated from within, your experience is thought generated from within, if you see this one truth, then you will start to vibrate at a frequency that will attract everything that it is that you want. You want financial success? It will happen. It will happen so long as you're vibrating at the frequency in which can attract that outcome to you. It's not that you get something outside. I go and I make financial success and then I become happy. That's not the equation. It looks like that. You're taught your whole life, go get money, go find this, go find that. These things will make you happy. That could not be further from the truth. It's not that money makes me happy. You see people that are rich, you see people that have lots of money, they're still not happy. And don't take this as renunciate from the world, because I've tried that as well. Okay. I said, yeah, I went to Peru, I went to India, but I also came back home, got rid of my bed, and tried to turn my room into a yoga center. Therefore, the red walls. Tried to make my room into a center in which I could evolve myself. If I can't go to the yoga center, if I can't go to an ashram, if I can't go and live in different places in which I think will give me well-being, let me bring that place here. And guess what I discovered? It's not the walls being painted red that gives me a sense of well-being. It's not the floor that I slept on Not every single day. A lot of the time I slept on the couch because I couldn't bear to sleep on the floor. But it's not the floor in which I slept on. It's not any of the external things in which I did that brought me a sense of well-being. I have a deeper sense of well-being now that I am sitting on a bed. I have a deeper sense of well-being now that I'm in a relationship. I have a deeper sense of well-being now that I'm doing coaching and I'm finding material success coming my way than I did when I thought that I had to be a renunciate. But it's still not the bed, the relationship, or the money that gives me the well-being. That's the thing. So you don't have to get rid of everything for you to be happy, nor do you have to get anything to be happy. There's a sweet spot. There's something within that you can access, that you can touch. There's an intelligence, an intelligent dimension within you that you can tap into that can attract those things for you, that can bring those things to your life, can bring you success faster than you can imagine. And it doesn't matter about those things necessarily because those are not the things that are going to bring you the sense of well-being. Integrity, having a sense of integrity within yourself, being aligned with what it is that's true to you, doing what feels true and being in integrity and leading and being who you truly are is the thing that brings you a sense of well-being. Being who you are and what you are is no different than that intelligent dimension, that intelligence that you can access from within. It's not that there's something that you can tap into. That is you. You are that dimension. You are that intelligent dimension. So if you realize who you are, if you realize the truth of your being, if you really come to a deep sense of knowing of who you truly are, then things fly at you. Okay? I started this podcast out of a desire that's come a long time ago. But I also started it from a huge shift that manifested in my life. I was looking so hard for happiness in every little place. And what I decided one day was that, look, I'm going to spend time and I'm going to stop looking for relationships. I'm going to stop avoiding what is true for me, what feels right to me, what it is that I feel that is necessary for me to do. Me time, saying no to what's not true, focusing on what's true. And I did that. I did that for about 6-7 months. After doing that for about 6-7 months, I quit my job. Okay, I quit my job that I got suspended from 3 separate times because I wasn't paying any attention when I was there. Because the entire time I'm thinking, I want to do coaching. I tried to quit my job 3 times. 3 separate times I tried to quit my job. I trusted myself at the beginning. I said, okay, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to become a coach and I'm going to do this. And it felt good. It felt so good. But I got scared. I handed in my resignation letter. I got scared. I asked for my job back. I got my job back. Thank you to my bosses at the time for doing that. I got my job back again, quit my job again after 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. I don't even have a timeline of how this happened in my brain. Second time comes around. I quit my job. I ask for my job back again. My manager is gracious enough to give me my job back. Third time around, I promise myself I'm going to quit my job and I'm not looking back. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that I can stay afloat for a few months' time, but I have no idea what's going to happen. And at that time, I quit my job. I was making $8.33 per hour as a coach with one single client. Quitting my bank job where I'm making, $18 an hour as a starting job, the frontline position, $18, $18.50. I could move up a couple positions, possibly be making $100,000 a year. Call it a quit. Say, all right, this is good. I'm comfortable. But that's not what I was being called to. That wasn't my truth. That wasn't what I was being guided towards. What I was being guided towards was, Robert, quit the bank and become a coach. Do it now. Enough fumbling. Now is the time. And I did. And the day after I quit my job, I had a beautiful relationship form. A beautiful relationship form, which pulls me into growth each and every single day, which shows me each and every place in which I can embody love in a deeper way. I signed 2 clients for $50 an hour within 2-3 days time after quitting my job. From making $8.33 from making 18 to 8.33 to 50. Within a couple weeks, I was at $100. A few weeks after that, $200, 200 US dollars. That's 250 Canadian. I went from making $18 to $8.33 Canadian to $250 Canadian per hour. I signed 6 people up to a group program that I created out of a deep longing to share my experience of going through quitting my job and experiencing what does it mean to be fearless? What does that mean? I have a book on the wall right here, Fearless by Steve Chandler. You can check it out. And this coach, Steve Chandler, the guy that wrote this book, he's a multi-million-dollar coach. He comes and shows up to my program and comes as a guest to my program. All of this decision for me to quit my job and pursue what it is that I want. I have the luxury of buying my mom a Dyson vacuum. We have a broken vacuum. I have my mom worrying about finances and worrying about bills. I get the luxury to buy my mom a Dyson vacuum. She can enjoy it. So there's an intelligence to who you are. And if you trust it, it will guide you into the different places that you need to go. This podcast is an extension of that. This podcast is something to inspire each and every one of you who is listening. Each and every one of you who takes the time out of your day to listen to this. To take a step for yourself. To not only take a step, but realize the truth of who you are first and foremost, and then take a step in the direction that you want. As the being who you truly are. So innate well-being will be just that. This is an extension from me to you. A personal journey of what it means to trust the unknown. And in this journey, I'm going to be sharing it with people that have taken those steps themselves, people that lead inspiring lives where they've gone out of the comfort zone and created something brand new for themselves with a deep sense of innate wisdom that they can share. And I hope that this effort is something that inspires you to look within and see that the truth of who you are is waiting for your discovery. It's not in some far off land. It's not somewhere else. It's not in a self-discovery book. It's not even in this podcast. It's not in the words that I'm saying. It's not in the words of anyone. And it's not even in your God. No matter where you're from, no matter what religion, there's a universal truth. There's something you can tap into. And maybe the thing that you refer to as God or spirituality or the universe or whatever name you want to give it, maybe, just maybe, you might be able to find that within. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and I'm really excited for this journey. And this has been the Innate Wellbeing podcast, and see you on the next episode.